You got something on your ear.
Well, I'll be.
I feel like we're fuzzy on this one today, even though I just cleaned it again.
I feel a little fuzzy.
I also feel a little fuzzy. So I guess it's just accurate then.
Yes, it's an accurate representation.
It's an accurate representation.
Actually, it's boring into our inner. It looks inside our soul.
Ooh, I don't know if I want it in there.
No.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't want anybody there.
Don't know if I want that in there. Let's see. Oh, it's given us a little border today.
Border?
Yeah, look.
I don't want to deal with borders.
I know. And yet we have a border today. That's so wild. Oh, because it switched to the new thing. It's that guy, the guy who, hold on a second. We know you have places to be. Yeah. I think it's now actually switched. And so, yeah, we have this colorful border around us. That's interesting.
And are our friends out there seeing that border?
See, look, yeah.
Oh, wow.
We have a festive border today.
That's great. That's just
great. Look at us with a festive border that we didn't ask for or plan on. That's all right. Now we can do wild things. We can create all sorts of borders that we never knew we always wanted. Are you saying you are tribbles if you are fuzzy?
Was you not being a Trekkie?
Oh yeah, I know nothing about nothing. I am the least.
I know the episode is called "The Trouble with Tribbles."
I am the least Trek that has ever trekked. I saw the movies that came, the recent ones, and I've liked most of those.
Yeah, do you know you'll go see the ones with even numbers? Yeah. Star Trek 2, Star Trek 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, our experience with Star Trek is the cafeteria. That's that for me as a kid growing up.
The dining room, that's the cafeteria.
The commissary
at Paramount.
The
Studios
commissary. Is that better?
For many a year, yeah. Well, it was just fun to walk in there and see Klingons, ordering ham sandwich.
Yes.
It's fun.
There was one guy who we saw the most. And again, because I didn't watch the show, I don't know what his name is. I'll look it up so that I actually get it right. But he had, especially as a kid, for me as a kid looking at him, it was like, wow, he was intense to look at, but pretty darn cool. Let me see if I can find it. There's so many Star Treks. It's a bit daunting.
Well, now they've added another one now.
Like it's a bit daunting to look at all of the different Star Treks that existed. Yeah, I'm never gonna be able to find him. He was one of the leadery guys, and he had a squishy face. Yeah, I'm not. There's too many Star Treks. I'm trying to find it, and there's too many Star Treks for me to be able to find it. So here we are. I like welcome to my stream. Oh, look at all these different. We could have a demonstration. We could have a video playback. We could have Q&A. We already have Q. We don't need your border and your Q&A, okay? We can do it on our own. Anyway, hello all.
Hello, folks.
Are you Star Trek fans? Are there Star Trek fans here?
We know there are. Out there.
Out there?
Yes. And Mr. Shatner, who's now 94.
Yes.
And who was recently traveling in the company of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
They worked out.
Yeah. Nick nailed it. It is Michael Dorm. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's the squishy face guy. Hang on. Who? Listen, technology. It's this guy. We used to see him a lot at the commissary.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just... They were, thankfully, I think because they knew the way they looked, they were quite patient, especially I was young enough for it to not be rude. And just have it be like, oh, a small child is staring at me because I look like this. It was never, why is your kid doing? No, your kid's doing that because you look like that.
You remember when your cousins came, we took them all to lunch at the Paramount dining room. And
which cousins?
Marcia and her
I don't mean it to be a trick question. Danny and Josh?
Yeah.
There you go.
And they asked if it would be okay because they saw that LeVar Burton
was
sitting a few tables away. I said, could we get his autograph? I said, if you wait, see when he's finished with his lunch and he's getting up from lunch.
Yeah.
You go up and you're polite. I'm sure it'll be very nice, which of course he was.
Yeah.
and is.
That's so funny. It's always, you're always so happy if you have friends visiting you or you have family in town and you take them somewhere. You're like, please let them see a celebrity. Let them have something that they get to then take away as, oh, I was in LA and I blank happened.
Right.
And there have been a handful of times that
Yes.
people have come through and you want to give them money because you're so grateful.
The best ever was when Alice's niece, Marcy, graduated from high school. We decided to give her a trip to LA,
Yeah.
you know, as a reward, and took her to lunch in the commissary. Well, it's June. June is dead because it's the in-between time when they haven't yet started the new season. So there's nobody around. I'm sure the writers are busy writing and producers are busy producing,
Yeah.
but the actors are nowhere to be seen. So we're sitting there in the commissary and it's pretty dead. And there was a patio area and we were sitting indoors. And at the end of his lunch, walking in from the patio to the dining room to get out of the building was Henry Winkler.
One of the nicest people in the world anyway.
Yeah. And our eyes met. And I met him before and spoken with him. And he got it right away.
Yeah.
He came over to the table, greeted me by name, and then
talked to Marcy. She's told me this.
Marcy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, "How are you, sweetheart? You enjoying your trip out here?" You know. And when he was done, I wanted to take out a $5 bill.
Right.
You know, just, you know.
Do you remember how lovely James Cameron was that night in Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
With cousin Sarah. We got a lot of cousins. You remember with cousin Sarah? Do you remember that? And we took a picture. It's like the happiest picture. Something that my dad has talked about is James Cameron, really interesting man, you know, smart, all of that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, truly.
Yes. Not always the nicest when working.
Yes. So we're told.
So we're told from friends who've experienced it and also just stories in general. But when not working can be incredibly nice. So my cousin came with us to this event in Santa Barbara at the film festival and he was there and he did the same. He was, oh, how long are you staying for? I'm so glad you get to be here for this. We took a picture. So nice. And again, you want to go, thank you so much. You know,
I mean, you know,
she gets to go home and say, "Oh my God, I was in this room."
He does have 5 kids. So
yeah. Well, I mean, but we weren't kids at that point.
No. But
we were no. You know, once you're in your 20s, people aren't just nice to be nice. Yeah. When you're younger, people will generally just be nice. As you get a little older, and once you hit that hump, I think it happened to me when I was about 16. Is when people went from being nice to sort of going, "No, now you're just a person, and I don't care anymore." Because before that, especially if I went to work with you, oh, that's so nice. Your daughter's coming to work with you. That's lovely. And now it's sort of like, great. What do you want? It's funny how things change.
And people, and as we all know, and we've said before, everybody has bad days.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're grumpy, you didn't sleep well, you had a lot of traffic on the way to the event, whatever it might be. So you have to cut people a little slack.
When my dad was in the hospital, this was the night that we were in the ER when all of it was starting. One of the doctors walks in to talk to him and he goes, "Oh, I recognize you. I've been watching you on TV for a long time. I'm a big fan." And my dad didn't say anything. Now, normally, if this thing happens, like he doesn't hear it, I go, "Daddy, he said he's a really big fan of yours." And so my knee jerk was to go, "Oh, thank you." So Daddy, say thank you. And then I look at my dad who is not doing well and hooked up to all these different things. And I thought, I think I'll let it slide on this one.
That's when
So I still said, thank you very much. But I do believe he wasn't offended because you were not well.
My blood pressure was 8/6.
Honestly, it was not a good time. But yeah, again, my knee jerk always is to go, "Daddy, that nice man just said, what do you say?" You say something back to them. And then I thought, no, you know what, today, pass. Yeah. A few people are asking how you're feeling. He's doing so much better.
I am doing better day by day, but it is a process, a work in progress.
But no more open wounds, which is nice. He doesn't have to have a dressing on his leg anymore, and the nice nurse doesn't have to come anymore to dress the leg, which sounds funny when you say it like that. Yeah. Someone's coming to dress my leg. And
sounds like
now you're getting back into more physical therapy stuff, and but I mean, you're moving, you're doing well. You are doing well.
I guess I am.
Yeah. You're upright. That's a lot,
Well, always.
you know.
Always.
We'll take it. You're walking around.
I'm trying to do more and more walking. And the more I do, the more I'm
The
able
more you
to do.
can. Yeah. Well, I always say the funniest thing about having Daisy in the house is that Daisy just doesn't allow you to not do things. So Daisy wants to play with Grandpa and is saying, "Why can't you get on the floor with me to play?" Because normally my dad will, sometimes he'll sit on the floor with her and he can't right now. And the thing is,
Well, I could.
you just wouldn't get back up again.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things when a little kid looks at you, and a little kid, especially a little kid that adores you more than anything, is like, "But Grandpa, I want you to play with me." You sort of go, "Looks like I'm going to have to get myself moving," because you don't want to say no.
Mm-hmm.
A few folks are no blood clots. Thank God for that. Exactly. A few people are asking about Comic-Con. We did talk about it last week. It was great. It was crazy. Daisy was insane.
Jesse did most of the driving. The wheelchair.
I didn't let Daisy drive the wheelchair too much for fear of mowing down other people. I think she, because she's growing up in a house of now I lovingly call us cripples. I say that because I am one. If it's a word you don't like, that's totally okay. I say we're a house full of cripples. She is, because she's so used to it with all of us, whether it's walking aids, it's walkers, wheelchairs, canes, medication, whatever. It's so normal for her. So when she sees Grandpa in a wheelchair, she just wants to help.
She wants to help.
She's also strong as hell.
She is incredibly strong.
She's frighteningly strong.
Incredibly strong.
So yeah, she just wants to help. She wants to push Grandpa in the wheelchair, and there are many worse things. Than her wanting to do all of that.
Yeah, she's at that age also where she wants to be of use.
Yeah, she wants to help.
She wants to help. So this is a short window.
Yeah,
it's not a very big window.
We don't know that. Well, don't say it yet. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
I'll be optimistic. So if I
don't you be grumpy.
If I want a bottle of water, instead of getting up and going to get the bottle of water,
she will fetch. Hi, Logan.
Daisy, would you hand me that bottle of water?
And she will fetch.
And she considers it a treat to do it.
Yes. She's very excited to help whenever she can help. Hi, Bear. Hello, Bear. I saw Daisy love the Star Wars droids at Comic-Con. I love seeing the various robots that are brought in. And I just think they're so cool.
Yeah.
And
seeing them in person, it's hard to be blasé.
They're just so cool.
When you see R2-D2 right in front of you, right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's
It's really neat. And these people put so much time, because remember, for the most part, what you're seeing is not from Logan, is not from Weta, is not from Lucasfilm. There, people make these. So you're seeing something that people made.
Yeah.
And I just think that is amazing. They put in all that time and effort, and then they bring them there, which again, let me tell you, bringing them in and getting onto the second floor means that they had to drive them into the elevators. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I think they're really, really cool. Sean is saying that he knows that you don't like horror movies, but he saw Weapons yesterday and it was exceptional. I've had a couple of friends talking about that, and I'm definitely intrigued by it. Granddad is a big toy to Daisy, 100%. Grandma and Grandpa are both Daisy's toys. JJ says local theater is showing All That Heaven Allows, Douglas Sirk. Is that worth watching?
If you like melodramas and what used to be called soap operas, yeah. In that genre, it's very good. But if you have no patience for that kind of storytelling,
Over here, they're asking who was above Tom Mix? Above Tom Mix is George McManus,
the creator of Bringing Up Father, and a rendering by the great James Montgomery Flagg.
Yeah.
The man who invented Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam Wants You.
If it's a name that sounds familiar, that's why. Yes, my dad has so much cool stuff. He really does. And
Jesse and Alice will come in here at various times and say, "Did you always have that?
Is that new?
Is that new?
Is that new?" I will say, much of the time when I say it, the answer is either yes or I moved it from somewhere else.
Okay.
Because it's depending on what it is, or like you like to change the posters on this wall every now and then, so things like that. But yeah, there's so much stuff, and so periodically you look and you go, I don't remember that. And as I say, the fact that the colors, this is what will always blow my mind. The fact that things, no, Betsy, not right now. The fact that the way that a lot of these things have held up over the years, and that applies to Mommy's collectibles as well, the Heroic British commemoratives. You're looking at something that's 100 years old and it doesn't look it. You know, there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of Mommy stuff is
much more than that. Yeah.
Years old. Yeah.
But, you know, you're looking at these different pieces and you're saying, how is this 100 years old, 80 years old? And it looks like it was made yesterday. In part just because things were made better.
Yeah.
Which is a piece of it. I think that actually looking at your clock and realizing you've had that possibly as long as you've had this couch.
Not quite, maybe, but
nearing
it's a West Coast.
It's a West Coast purchase.
This is New York.
Yes, well, I know that this couch, which got, I still think. Do you know that if it wasn't for COVID, I think this couch would still be pristine. It's only because of COVID that we started sitting on it all the time to do.
Yeah.
Our interviews and stuff.
We bought this sofa with this upholstery at Macy's in New York City
in 1975. There you go.
So it's as old as our marriage. It's 50 years old. And it's been many things. It's been my napping couch.
It's really, I think the main thing it's been is your napping couch.
Yeah. But it was also in your nursery.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. It's where your nursemaid weaned you. What is the word?
I don't know.
Well,
I was very small at the time, so I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, it's had several uses.
I love that.
And it's still here.
At least Daisy won't break those posters, right?
Huh.
You know, Arthur, if she can get to it, she can break it.
She's got skills.
Yes. I have been binging documentaries the last couple of days. As soon as Daisy's asleep, because I just been wanting to catch up. I'm not obsessive about true crime. Some people are like, this is their whole, I'm not necessarily, but I do find it interesting, of course. So I've watched a couple of those, but I finally yesterday got to watch My Mom Jane, which is Mariska Hargitay's documentary. And obviously I knew a number of things that I wouldn't, because it's been out for a little bit, I knew about certain revelations that are made in it.
I didn't know any of it.
Yeah. Well, that's because you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it because I think it was at Cannes. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And that's when I started hearing more and more of sort of the details, things about fathers and whatnot. Right. So it's watching it yesterday. It's amazing. It's amazing that her siblings spoke so openly. I definitely think it's one of those things where only a sister could do that.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody else was coming in.
It's a very personal film. And it's a very gutsy film.
Yeah.
Because she exposes herself.
Yeah.
And her deepest feelings.
Yeah.
And she admits right up top, if you don't know, Mariska Hargitay, who's been starring for 20 years on Law & Order SVU and is very, very good, was the daughter of Jane Mansfield. If you don't know who that was, we're probably not on this thread.
Yeah.
But she was kind of a rival to Marilyn Monroe's shorthand way of saying it. But she was a voluptuous, blonde bombshell of the 50s who actually had a couple of hit movies, was in a hit Broadway play. And then her career stalled and never really regained its footing.
A lot of kids, a lot of lovers, a lot of everything, difficulty, trouble. The craziest thing, and I will tell you just because it is one of the first lines, is her saying, Jane saying, if I die in a car accident or anything like that, I want to make sure my kids are taken care of. If you're not familiar, that's how she died. She died in a car crash. You know what I did think was interesting is they didn't bring up the wig thing. They didn't even touch the decay.
No.
A story. So this is one of those things, right, where something becomes. something has been a part of a story for so long, people don't even know that it's not real.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it was said that in this car accident that she was in, she was decapitated. She was not. It was a wig. The wig flew off. But so it's one of those things where I can't imagine being her family, and you don't even want to say it, and you want to say to people, no, she wasn't decapitated. It was a wig. That never happened. As if what happened wasn't horrifying enough, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really tricky. Yeah, she wore many wigs. If you look at a lot of the photos of her, she's wearing quite big blonde wigs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it is a
Mariska never. I'm taking the liberty of calling her by
Yeah.
her first name.
Yeah.
She never refers to their home as the Pink Palace.
Yeah.
Which is what I guess the press
Yeah.
called it.
Anyway, it's a really, really good documentary,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed it. James says, hi, Leonard and Jesse from Australia. Recently, I've been reading John Canemaker's book on Felix the cat. Did you ever get to meet his real creator?
Otto Mesmer. I didn't meet him, but I wrote him essentially a fan letter, and he sent me back a drawing, a pen and ink drawing of Felix signed to me. So I came close.
Yeah.
I wish I'd come closer.
Yeah, but pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
You were on the phone again with Scott Eyman, who has this new book that you poured over very quickly. You've talked about it a little bit.
Well, there's a new biography of Joan Crawford that'll be coming out this fall. And this fall is coming
now.
Soon.
Fall is now.
Duh.
Crazy.
I just can't believe it's happening so fast. In less than 2 weeks, I begin teaching my new semester.
It's crazy. I know.
August 21.
I know.
Where'd
it go?
Yeah.
But you've loved this book.
Oh, it's really good. Scott, I wrote about this somewhere.
I wrote about this somewhere.
Scott's biographies, most recent being Cary Grant and John Wayne. A really nice book about Henry Fonda and Jimmy Stewart and their longtime friendship. These books are so well researched and well written that I consider them definitive.
Mm.
So his Cecil B. DeMille biography, and I'm fascinated by DeMille. It's a pretty thick book. It renders the other DeMille books that I have on my bookshelf useless, redundant at best. But the compulsive part of me doesn't want to take them off the shelf, give them away. But that's what I'm going to do. Are
you really?
In some cases, yeah.
You're going to remove books.
I'm going to remove some books. Well, I have no room for new books.
I know you have no room for new books. It is a running joke with my mom and I. If there is a drawer anywhere, my dad will fill it. And anywhere. If there's a shelf anywhere, he will fill it. And the speed with which he can fill them, honestly, should be in a Guinness book somewhere. As soon as you say to him, like when we first moved into this house a few years ago, and I had these shelves built, and I went, if you want, you can put some of your book. I think before I finished the sentence, they were full. Before I even finished going, hey, if you want to put some of your...
If we go to a friend's house and I look at the bookshelf and there's space.
Oh, yeah, no, what's that?
Or like the last book is leaning.
No. We don't allow that. He has his books in my bedroom. Two of the shelves in my room have his books on it because, hey, why not? Are you ready to see Jaws' 50th anniversary?
I did. I watched that.
I know you did.
And Laurent Bouzereau, who is kind of the in-house documentarian for Steven Spielberg and Amblin, as he was for Alfred Hitchcock and the Hitchcock family.
Mm.
He does really superior work. I mean, if his name is on it, you know it's going to be good.
Mm.
And he doesn't take the lazy way out. He does the work.
Yeah.
And the Jaws anniversary documentary is everything you want it to be. It's everything you want it to be.
Mm.
And fortunately, almost everybody's still alive.
Yeah.
Almost everybody. And the ones who aren't, like Robert Shaw.
Yeah. Has a son that looks identical to him.
And Roy Scheider.
Identical to him.
Did enough interviews over the years.
Yeah.
You can draw on that.
Well, there's something so, I mean, this is the other part, of course, is it's nice when the people who made a movie that has that kind of staying power, that has been such a part of pop culture and the world, um, are willing and happy to talk about one of those, because it is so. Hamilton, the musical Hamilton, is celebrating its 10-year anniversary, which is crazy because it feels like much more than 10 years. And I realized because they ran, they were all the prep that went into it. It was a much longer process, but 10 years doesn't seem like anything, and yet it's 10 years. Obviously, everybody who was involved in it is out there celebrating, and there's something really wonderful about sharing it, you know. And so obviously there are movies and books and everything where the people who wrote them or partook in, were part of it, do not love them and do not want to talk about them at length. So I think that it means even more when you hear someone talking about it and you go, oh, I'm so glad that this thing that was so special to me is special to you.
Yeah. Yes. I'm forgetting. I didn't intentionally forget. Scott's written many other books, and there's one on Chaplin called Charlie Chaplin versus the United States versus Charlie Chaplin.
One of those. Yeah.
Is really, really good.
Yeah.
And though it purports to only cover from the 40s to his death in the 70s, it's really about his entire life and career. And it's so good. So good. I learned things, and he illuminates things.
Yeah.
Which is what a good biographer does.
Yeah. We also watched, thanks to, because you suggested it, I watched all of Stick on Apple, and I really liked it. And
turning a corner, no longer documentary.
Moving away from there, I watched all of Stick, which it is definitely predictable. It's all those things, but it was really good, and I enjoyed watching it. And it was very much where when it finished, I felt satisfied and happy. And, Owen Wilson kind of just does Owen Wilson.
Right. He does it well.
But he does it well.
He does the best Owen Wilson of any of them.
But it's a really good cast, and it's a nice show.
Yeah.
And as I say, I watched it very easily.
Yeah.
I went through it really easily.
Mark Maron's very good.
Yeah.
In a supporting role.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's a really good actor.
He is.
And I think it's definitely.
And we watched his new special.
Did you?
Which just landed a week ago.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Taped at Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Yeah.
I liked it Mommy and I
both you did, yeah.
We liked it very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
I'm sure Scott will watch it at some point.
And we watched the 3-hour, 2-part, 3.5 hour
Billy Joel documentary.
To my surprise. And it's very good. And it's much more interesting than I could have anticipated. This man has led a dozen lives. And every facet of every life is reflected in the music that he generated at that time. And it's maybe oversharing at times.
Yeah,
a little more maybe than we absolutely need, but it's very good.
And to have as many songs as he does that are still so singable and meaningful, and you know, I mean, look, when he performed every month at Madison Square Garden, it was full.
Oh yeah.
It was full. And people loved it.
People of all ages.
Yeah, they loved it. And because they're, again, talking about someone enjoying something that you enjoy, to hear those songs and have him perform them passionately and happily. Because again, we know that, look, there are going to be people who are like, please don't make me sing that one song again that I've had to sing a million times. And then there are going to be people that go, you know what? These people love this song, and I'm going to perform it for them. Because they deserve to hear it, and they deserve to hear it right.
He knows there is no show without Piano Man.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, please. There's a whole bunch like that. Yeah. This is an interesting question from Doug. Greetings, Maltons. If a biopic was made of Nichols and May, who would you cast?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I have to give that some thought. Well. Elaine May, who's still alive and well.
Yeah.
and her daughter Jeannie Berlin looks amazingly like her, but she's older now, which is not an insult, just a fact.
Yeah.
So
She couldn't necessarily do that.
You need somebody young.
I don't know.
Well, maybe Jenny Slate, somebody like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh,
I don't know. What do you guys think? What would your answers be?
I'd rather not watch somebody pretend to be somebody. On the whole. But Timothy Chalamet did a great job as Bob Dylan last year.
I think that helps in part that you're not a huge Dylan fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I only say that because I think that you don't know a ton about him. You haven't, well, you're not obsessed with his music.
Right.
So I think in some cases it's easier to watch that because you're not paying attention to it.
But I do know Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
I grew up with Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
And
Edward Norton blew you away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying, I think that's a tricky one where, if you know something and you love something, and again, it comes down to that, right? It's an emotional situation. Yeah. Do you want to see someone replaying those memories? Do you want to see someone, and that's part of what is still interesting to me about the movie Selena. That has to be one of the quickest turnarounds of any biopic that went to theaters. You'll see, again, talk about true crime and stuff like that. You'll sometimes see a Lifetime movie pop up, or something like that will pop up after something big has happened. But it's rare to have a biopic happen so soon after someone dies. Mm-hmm. And because it was still so raw, people were still so broken about what happened. And so it's really interesting to me, though, that I think because of the emotion of it, and because of the way that it was played, and it's such a good movie, and it's so well done. I think that's one of the rare times when people accepted it, especially because it was so soon. I think it allowed people to celebrate her and to mourn her. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky, going back again, especially if you love something, if something means a lot to you.
I like Molly Gordon. She could probably do it.
That's interesting. Doug is saying Rachel Brosnahan is Elaine and Jack McBrayer is Mike.
Huh.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Yes, we've talked about, Arthur's mentioning Stan and Ollie. We've talked about Stan and Ollie before because
it is so remarkable.
It's fantastic. The problem I have with it is that because there are a lot of people who no longer know who they are, younger people specifically, are not familiar with them. I wish they would have done, this is where I wish they would have done two parts. I wish they would have done something about their rise, and then you can talk about the fall. But I really wish that people could see that part first. Because I want you to learn about them, and I want you to watch them, and I want you to discover them for yourself. And I don't know if Stan and Ollie does that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it invigorates someone and they go, oh, I have to go watch this now. Whereas for us, the second they're on, we're laughing. A gag is just beginning to be set up, but we know what the gag is, and we're laughing.
Yeah.
But the two of them, John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan, are beyond perfect, and the makeup in that film is insane.
Yeah.
It is some of the best special I've ever seen. Ever. We loved that very, very much. Zooey Deschanel and Donald Gleason as Nichols and May. There's options, right?
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. As I say, there's so much.
Or just watching Nichols and May.
Yeah, right. Ken's saying it's sad how many younger folks don't know Laurel and Hardy. It's true. Well, but where would they see them? See, that's the thing. So growing up for me, I Love Lucy was on TV every single day. Every single day. When you came home from school, you had Lucy was on from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 2 episodes. And then The Simpsons came on 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So when I finished my homework and I came home, I would watch I Love Lucy, and then I'd watch The Simpsons. And so I grew up seeing I Love Lucy every day. And then obviously with Nick at Night, you had you had Bewitched, you had all those kinds of shows. Dragnet didn't really work for me as a kid. That one I wasn't so into. But you fall in love with these different shows. So that's there. And it was easy for me to like it because it was on TV. I didn't have to go get it. It was there.
Exactly. Which is how I grew up in the New York area. being exposed to everything,
Right.
because they filled every hour of every day into the wee hours of the morning with old movies.
Mm.
So you didn't have to go to Turner Classic Movies to see an old movie. You couldn't avoid old movies.
Yeah.
There was no way you couldn't bump into Humphrey Bogart or W.C. Fields. Speaking of people who are somewhat neglected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. Mind you, my husband, because he grew up in England, he really doesn't know I Love Lucy or Lucille Ball. They didn't have that playing. So there you have right there. And I'm 2 years older than him. So it's not much of a gap, but that show was never on there. So he knows who she is because, again, pop culture, he's seen her, but he doesn't have any feelings towards it, doesn't know any of the jokes. And that is it just shows you, it's like, if it's not there, it's not there. How is someone going to find it?
Right.
If it's not sort of out there for them?
Right. I would say your mom and I have fallen into a new rabbit hole.
Mm.
You've already been watching What's My Line, and to tell the truth, from the good old days, good old bad old days, on YouTube, Password. There are 10,000 episodes of Password on YouTube. We watched Woody Allen play Password
Mm-hmm.
when he was plugging What's New Pussycat. We just watched Joan Crawford play Password.
It's wild, isn't it?
And Alan Ludden says to her at one point, "May I call you Joan?" She says, "That's my name." Very down to earth, very unpretentious. Yeah.
I love that. Matt says, back to Elaine May for a moment, if I Elaine May. I was born in 88, and all I ever heard about Ishtar was how bad it was. But then I watched it, and I liked it a lot. Do you like it? And do you think it got a bad rep just because of the production stories before it even came out? I think some of the people that trashed it when I was a kid never even saw it.
That's quite possible. I did see it. I did not love it, but I loved the idea that never came to pass of putting all those Paul Williams songs onto what we used to call an album, and that I would support 100%.
There you go.
And I'm sure a lot of people went gunning for it, because the stories of the stories of the production and the misbegotten, I don't know what the word is anymore. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a train wreck. A train wreck in Beverly Hills style. If you don't know about it, read about it. It's worth.
Yeah, it's tricky. And then of course, what is a movie's reputation after the fact?
Yeah.
And what does it become?
Sure.
Does it become a joke? Is it funny? Is it, all of that? I have a deep love for the beach party movies back in the day, because again, you'd see them, and who wouldn't fall in love with Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello and any of those kinds of people? But there are a number of really, really good sort of, I don't want to call them parodies, but I guess they are kind of parodies. Bush, what's his name? Is it James? One second. There's a movie I love called Psycho Beach Party.
Charlie Bush?
Yes. And he did a number of, one second. Oh God, it's the year 2000. How the hell? It's called Psycho Beach Party. I love it. And it's weird as hell, but wonderful, and celebrates those movies. And doesn't make fun of those. That's the reason that they're fun, is because it's not just saying these were terrible. It's sort of just enjoy. The transatlantic accented female, he's a male. He's in drag technically, but that's not part of the character. I say it's hard to describe, but if you've ever seen Charles Bush, he's wonderful. And I say I really enjoy his movies. And I love seeing somebody pay homage in a way that is loving.
Yeah.
You know, I think those movies are great. They make me happy. Though the Beach Party movie that has Buster Keaton in it was a bit much for me. Him chasing girls in bikinis was not something I was ready for.
He's in more than one.
Yeah, that did not work well for me.
Anytime when I worked at Entertainment Tonight, I always took a look at. We had a big whiteboard, wide erase board, where they would mark up all the shoots for the day. Sometimes we had as many as 3 crews out shooting interviews and material. And one time it said Frankie Avalon. I said, ask him about Buster Keaton. And he loved being asked about Buster Keaton. And then William Asher, who directed most of those, and he had Buster stories. So that was my little bonus. Most of the perks.
You have to enjoy it, you know. You have to enjoy it, and that's part of why, you know, when Annette Funicello sort of stepped out of the spotlight in the last few years that she was ill. First of all, it's no one's right to see someone when they're not at their best. And I think that she didn't want people to remember her in that way.
Right.
Which I get, especially if you're someone who was beloved.
Yeah.
And, you know, you were on boys' walls and things like that.
That's how Betty Page felt.
Yeah. We talked about it. Yeah. Betty Page didn't want anyone to see, but I mean, hers is a sadder story than Annette's. That's a different kind of a thing. But yeah, a few years, Ken is saying that he saw Annette Funicello. Someone saw her light up a cigarette and was shocked. It's like, yeah, because she's not supposed to do that. It's Annette Funicello. And then hang on, Ryan was saying, I think the Annette Mickey Mouse Club serial is a better production Annette Funicello was in than the Beach Party movies. I'm so glad you got a Walt Disney Treasures set for it. Again, you know, I love those Beach Party movies because they're ridiculous and they're just fun and silly, and you totally get why you'd want to go see them in a theater, you know,
or a drive-in.
Yeah, it's a popcorn
Preferably.
movie. It's a popcorn movie, and that's one of those things. I don't think a popcorn movie is a bad thing. I think it's nice. It's nice to watch stuff that's just enjoyable.
Absolutely.
You know,
I endorse popcorn movies.
Yeah.
I cheer for popcorn movies.
Yeah, I like something that's fun. That's what my mom was saying. That's what she liked about Stick, the show we mentioned, is that it has serious bits to it, but it's also just sort of a nice show with a nice story, and it feels good when you watch something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it's why all of us embraced Ted Lasso the way we did. It was so nice to watch a show that was nice.
I'm really sorry to hear that they're
doing more.
They're doing more.
Not a good idea.
And
I get why.
I understand why. Of course.
I get why.
Nothing succeeds like success. But you guys.
You mess with it.
You hit the bullseye. And you hit the bullseye at the right moment in time.
Yeah.
During COVID, when we were all stuck at home.
And we needed that.
And we needed something to lift our spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And you did that. And you made semi-stars of a lot of talented people in that cast.
Yeah.
Don't tempt fate.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's my.
Well, because even the last season wasn't as good.
Mm-hmm.
I still watched it. Scott didn't. Scott gave up. My husband is picky, and he when he's over it, and that's it. So he didn't even watch the last season. Yeah, again, it's just nice to watch stuff that's nice. Hot tip for Leonard: there is a nice beaver popcorn holder available at AMC with the Naked Gun movie. I've seen them. Don't need one, but I've seen them, and they're funny. Marlena Dietrich didn't want to be seen later in life. You see that in the Maximilian. Yes, yeah,
it's a very good documentary.
Yeah, but again, like I get it because it has to be. I think aging in general for anyone can be difficult and stressful and hard.
Well, especially here, in Hollywood.
Yeah, but it's to have people looking at you and certainly to be saying, "Oh, I remember what you used to look like."
Yeah,
That's gotta be really, really tough. You know, I can't imagine. Today we asked you guys, what's the best thing that you have been watching recently? And
While you're scrolling for answers,
yes,
we just posted on late Thursday, a piece. You do hold.
me do hold. Me
You
do
it
hold.
better than I do. Kino Lorber has just released this exceptional 1932 Western on Blu-ray
Sorry about that.
called Law and Order. It's the second film to bear John Huston's name as writer. It stars his father, Walter Huston, and Harry Carey Sr., and a terrific cast. And it was based on a novel by W.R. Burnett, who also wrote Little Caesar, and 30-some years later wrote or co-wrote The Great Escape. I mean, how many people can say they have those two movies 30 years apart on their resume, not to mention Asphalt Jungle, High Sierra, lots and lots of others. And all the backstory stuff on Law and Order is just as interesting as the film itself. And when you get to the gunfight at the OK Corral, it's more accurate, apparently, than any other rendering of it, because Burnett went to Tombstone in 1928 and talked to old timers and got a sense of the place.
Interesting.
And then put that in his novels. His novel is called St. Johnson. Very hard to find a copy of that. But they call him Frame Johnson in the movie. And I write about it at leonardmaltin.com, but I recommend you see it any way you can.
Yeah. JJ saying, I saw you introduce that at the New Beverly. Did you show this at the New Beverly?
I think I introduced it at the CCM festival.
Yeah, maybe that's what that was.
Am I having
I don't remember.
A brain blip?
I don't know nothing about
I have
nothing.
those.
I don't know nothing about nothing. Ryan said the best thing he saw was a Sunset Boulevard with your Fathom introduction, which is fantastic.
I'm so thrilled
that people see them.
That people are seeing.
It's so nice.
My introductions to last month, it was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This weekend it was Sunset Boulevard, and the best email I've had, maybe ever, certainly in recent times, is from an old friend, an ex-colleague. We worked at ET many, many years ago, and he worked on Hot Ticket, the unlamented.
Hot Ticket, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Late unlamented review show.
Hey, it was on for a bit.
That's right.
We had a good time.
He took his teenage daughter to see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for the first time. And when I came on screen to introduce it, she said, "It's Leonard."
Thanks, pal.
How does she know me? She knew me from the Walt Disney Treasures DVDs.
Right. Which
was always my hidden agenda, my secret agenda, to insinuate myself into the consciousness of a new generation that could someday give me a job.
It's going well so far.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday, Maltons. I've recently watched The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp and immediately became a Roger, is it Livesey fan. Are there any other films he's done that you recommend?
Well, all of the films he made with Powell and Pressburger, Matter of Life and Death, which was called Stairway to Heaven here in the U.S. And does he not have the most beautiful speaking voice, rivaled only by Ronald Colman? Those are the two most pleasing speaking voices I can think of.
Yeah.
Roger Livesey.
They're pretty great. JJ says Hot Ticket was my introduction to you. See?
Oh, okay.
See?
Okay.
It was a fun time.
It was an experience.
It was. We did it. It was fun to do. We met interesting people.
We did.
You know? Arthur's asking if you saw the AFI tribute to Francis Ford Coppola. He was there.
I was lucky enough to go.
He was there.
My wife and I went.
Yeah.
And it was, I hope it played as well on TV, edited down as it did in person. It was a very moving night. And it was not nothing about it was rote
Mm,
or like formulaic
yeah.
or everything. Everyone who showed up really meant what they said. They really cared about Francis as an artist, and they kept stressing
Yeah.
that as he proved again with Megalopolis, money means nothing to him.
Mm,
It's an abstract,
yeah.
and all he cares about is expressing
Making
himself
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
and being creative,
Yeah.
which he is.
He is very absolutely. Jim says he really liked the Fantastic Four, the new movie, and he liked Weapons as well. His question to you though is, which almost forgotten movie comedy team deserves more attention, Wheeler and Woolsey or Thelma with Zazu or Patsy?
Well, I was just watching Hips Hips Hooray on TCM last weekend, not having seen Wheeler and Woolsey in a little while.
Yeah.
Mr. Scorsese admitted to me that he watched Wheeler and Woolsey sometime when he was editing.
Yes.
I can't prove that, but I heard him say it to me. I like them very much. You have to like them to enjoy that.
Yeah. I mean, and you do.
And I do.
Ken says every time someone mentions the Hot Ticket show, Jesse needs to sing the Hot Ticket theme. I do. It's my natural response to hearing it. Hot Ticket every time. Every single time. Because what would happen was on set, if somebody would say something funny, they would just play it really quickly, and it just burned into my brain. That was also, in terms of exciting moments for me, I'd gotten my driver's license when you started doing that show. And I was able to drive myself after school to Paramount because you guys usually shot late afternoon into early evening. And I could drive myself to Paramount for the first time, park, walk over to the soundstage and find you. And so that show for me, and again, we met interesting people.
We did.
We had a good time.
We did.
So for me, happy memories.
Yeah.
We like work.
Oh, I like work. I like exposure. I like talking about movies, all of that.
Mm-hmm. He's a fussy fuss. This guy, he's a fussy fuss. I saw Henry, I'm going to mess up how to say that. Jaglam's film, A Safe Place. Very good and not well known. Have you seen it?
I'm embarrassed to say I never have, and I should have by this time. I should have seen it when it was new, but I have not.
There you go.
I forget who wrote the entry in the book. Yeah. I think maybe Mike Clark did.
Matt is saying, I just watched Ballad of Wallace Island, and I think it's a pretty perfect movie.
I've been hearing that.
I really want to see that, and I want to see what's the Phoenician, whatever the hell.
Phoenician Scheme.
I want to see that. Those are the two I'd like to see.
Yeah.
A few people are asking if you've seen the new Freaky Friday movie. No.
I have not been to
He hasn't been to the movies since all of this happened.
I just flushed 2 months of my life down the drain.
That's interesting.
But I'm back, and
So Matt, talking about Ballad of Willis Island, said it's not since The Holdovers has a movie made me laugh and cry and feel so deeply. I think everybody will enjoy this movie. Do you think it might get recognized for Oscars? Well, in terms of Oscars, nobody ever knows any. It's tricky, so it's hard to say what will and what won't get attention. In terms, I loved Holdovers. I thought Holdovers was a pretty damn near perfect movie.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's
and
great.
I was worried, not worried, worried's the wrong word. Because we do not have a lot of director friends, actor friends in terms of in the mainstream. My dad always says, because that's not something that was his goal.
And to be a critic, is to separate yourself, from the people you criticize.
You and your integrity. But yeah, so he's always been like that. Well, Alexander Payne is someone that we had no choice but to be friends, because we just needed it, and we love him so much, and he does feel like family, and I think he's an amazing man. And so seeing his movies, it can always be a little nerve-wracking because you're going, God, I hope I like it. Well, I saw that, and I just went to him and I said, I think this movie is so special. And what's nice about it being a bit of a period film, not to an extreme, but enough.
Oh, well, it is.
No. But I'm saying it's the kind of thing where, because it takes you out.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about cell phones, but it doesn't feel old is what I
Right.
mean.
Right.
It doesn't feel like we're watching something old. It just feels like there is no time.
Right.
And I do.
They invented a Focus Features logo
Yeah,
that didn't exist
Yeah.
because Focus Features didn't exist in 1970.
So they did one that would go with it. I love that. How do you feel about Olsen and Johnson?
Well,
Quentin Tarantino loves them.
I like them.
There you go.
I like them fine.
A few folks are asking about Betty Boop because it is her 90th birthday, it looks like.
95th.
95th birthday. And they're asking, what would you like to know? We love Betty Boop in this house. We love Grampy. I would say even more than I love Betty Boop, I love Grampy. He is, I see him and I smile and I am happy. Pudgy too, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I love Betty Boop. I absolutely love it.
Betty Boop's a great character, and they made an awful lot of very good cartoons. The Fleischer Studios batting average was very high. There are very few utter flops, you know, and there's those 7-minute cartoons that they made. The Popeyes are really, really good. Betty Boop's are really, really good. The Grampy ones are great. Their Color Classics series, which was their attempt to do a Silly Symphonies type of short. They run hot and cold, and more cold than hot. But the
Ken says, "Wait, Betty Boop and Shatner are the same age? Wild to think about it, isn't it? Genuinely wild to think about."
Betty Boop was 1 year older.
Yeah, growing up and watching that, because obviously that was a part of my education here in this house. It's funny. I never thought of her as sexy. I realize obviously now looking at the way she was dressed that she was extremely sexy, and that what she was wearing, I kind of look at it and I go, I can't quite believe that was allowed, especially the garter. But as a kid, it never occurred to me, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that at all because it didn't matter. And I just always thought she was so sweet. And I am fascinated by how certain cultures have adopted her, and that so many people have her as a tattoo, and the sexy thing and all of this. It's just kind of wild to see how that manifested. But I love Betty Boop. I say I love Grampy. I love the characters. I love the way they are together.
And Grampy is sort of a alter ego for Max and Dave Fleischer.
Yeah.
Because they were inventors. They held patents. And
well, that's the thing. When you're watching Grampy and you're watching those episodes and you're seeing what he's making, that's like Pixar all day long. The stuff that Pixar does, which they do so well, where they bring things to life in a way, or how they move things around, or even Wallace and Gromit, you know, even Aardman. I really do think a lot of that comes from Betty Boop and Fleischer and how they made things work.
Mm-hmm.
Even out of the Inkwell, you know, getting into that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's so clever. It 100% had a big effect on what we have today, without question.
Totally inventive.
Yeah. I love it. We always think over at Grampy's house. We say that a lot. How many?
That's why we don't get invited.
That is true. We do sing that too much, I think. How many of them were filmed with that real backdrop?
Quite a number of them. And it was written up in Popular Mechanics or Popular Science. I forget which of those two magazines, but they built if you've ever seen an animation camera, it's pointing down.
Yeah.
It's on a pedestal and it's pointing down, and here on the flat surface is where they put the
to take pictures. To take pictures from above.
They put it flat, put it on a turntable, and then built miniature sets out of cardboard, paper mache, whatever, and rigged it so that you could put the clear cells with the character in the midst of these sets,
which is so
frame by frame
clever.
And they used it in an awful lot of their cartoon shorts, and it's still eye-popping.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And when you show it to your students, I
Yeah.
always love that because seeing it on a big screen
Yeah.
is so cool. And I love that. A few folks are saying that they wish that Betty Boop, that better versions of the cartoons would be released.
Mm-hmm. Little company called Olive Films did
Yeah.
like four DVD volumes, but I don't know if they're still in business.
I don't know. Yeah, we're definitely a Betty Boop house, and all of the characters with it around us. I say we love Pudgy. Who doesn't love Pudgy? I think there's a real sweetness to them that I appreciate, and that I think it speaks to kids because she is so sweet.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
very upbeat.
Kramer says, "Yeah, Olive did a terrible job. Tell us how you really feel." Just tuning in. Love that I was misinformed. Cushion. Is that the quote from Casablanca? Yes, it is.
It is, and
yes, it is.
That was purchased at the
Warner Brothers store. Womp womp.
A beloved memory.
Yeah. Popeye and Sinbad the Sailor is a great example of that technique.
Yes, it sure is in color.
Again, just the idea that folks figured this out, the idea that this was figured out, and that it still looks as cool as it does, just blows me away.
Yeah. It's not CGI.
Mm-mm.
It's handmade.
Yeah.
And there's something about that handmade quality that has a particular appeal.
Yeah. But I say, when you watch this stuff and you look at what since the 80s into the 90s, I say Pixar and all of that, when you watch those, or Aardman, you just see what Fleischer inspired.
Yeah.
And there's nothing quite like seeing the original of something and knowing where it came from and how it came to be. Do you want to show these?
Well, as I say, I haven't been out of the house yet to see a movie. So I'm taking a look at stuff. I'm revisiting things in some cases. This is Midnight, new from Criterion, starring Claudia Colbert, Don Amici, John Barrymore, and directed by Mitchell Eisen, with a script by Billy Wilder and Charles Brackett. So those are great credentials. And I remember liking this movie a lot more than I did when I saw it last week.
Screwball comedy doesn't get any more effortlessly elegant and gleefully irreverent than this roulette wheel of romantic deception.
Good words.
It says here.
Yeah.
In this.
I did not love it this time around.
Yeah.
It's fun to see all those people, and the sets are staggering, incredible. The ever industrious Ben Modell he never stops. 2K restoration, Tom Tyler. I've never seen the Tom Tyler silent Western, but I'm about to. And you know who Tom Tyler is because he was Captain Marvel. And a good one at that. And a damn good one. And a good one at that. But he never speaks in that serial. He has the physique. He has the presence. But you never hear his voice. Isn't that funny? I'm going to grab Grampy to show them. Hang on. Don't grab Grampy. I will gently lift Grampy from your desk. I also love. So is this the Three Caballeros thing new, or is it just sitting there? It's just sitting there. Well, show this because it's great. In the days of 78 RPM records, they issued albums, but they really were like photo albums. You see the binding here? And some of them have great artwork on the covers. And this is one of my favorites. And then you open the sleeve, and there's artwork on the inside of the cover as well. It's a pretty great one. Okay, two of our favorite characters in general. This guy right here. I will gladly pay you Tuesday. For a hamburger today. Never bet. Have you always loved him? Yeah. Yeah. That was just early on. You said yes. Yeah. This is my guy.
This is so wonderful, and we absolutely adore it. But even better than this, he comes with hats, because when he has an idea, so here we are, he's got this hat, and then ding, 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 I have an idea.
I've got it.
Is that not just the greatest? I do. I just love him so. I love him so much, and I love these. We say that he sits on my dad's desk, and we say that when my dad has an idea, he should just switch his hat, so that it's never a bad time, you know.
It just occurred to me.
Wimpy. I'm glad you guys like Wimpy too, because he's
It just occurred to me that Three Caballeros is not politically incorrect.
Yeah. Stupid politically incorrect. Oh, someone you know, okay, I'm going to end with that because somebody asked before about Song of the South, and since you just brought that up, I'm going to say sort of what we always have to say with this stuff. 1 second. I want to find this for you. Lucas says, "Hey, Leonard and Jesse." Thank you, Logan. "Why won't anybody at the Walt Disney Company, especially at the Disney parks, talk about the classic?" Thank you, Logan. "Live action animated Disney movie Song of the South and Splash Mountain since the ride closed back in 2023. Here is the thing." His face when I say it.
I'm very fond of Song of the South. I grew up with it. It was excerpted on Walt Disney's TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And
Logan, come here. You're fine.
But it was a troublesome film, even when it was in production.
Come here.
They're based on stories by a man named Joel Chandler Harris, who presented them as folk tales about a character named Uncle Remus, who could spin stories for days on end. And but he's a Jim Crow character,
mm-hmm.
and it's never clear in the movie whether it's pre or post Civil War. Is this an antebellum movie or not? But either that the slaves or the house slaves, the former slaves, played by Hattie McDaniel, the Oscar-winning actress from Gone with the Wind, and others are part of the film. But the message of the film, the crux of the heart of the film, is Uncle Remus's incredible gift for storytelling and how it affects a little white boy played by Bobby Driscoll, who is growing up with a white parents who are about to divorce. And he's feeling great stress from this. And so Uncle Remus takes his mind off his troubles by spinning tales of Brer Bear, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Fox. And the animators who worked on it loved working on it because they're very exaggerated characters. They could sink their teeth into those drawings. And it has an Oscar-winning song, Zippity Doo Dah, is part of its very good song score. I'm very fond of the Laughing Place song. But it's, it depicts an era that a lot of people would rather not revisit or encounter for the first time. And
but at the end of the day, it comes down to the hiding of it, which is what a few of you, this is the problem. If they just addressed the film, because there's a lot of stuff, God knows there's a lot of stuff that is inappropriate, that has characters we would no longer include, that have words that we would no longer include. I mean, there's films, a lot of people have trouble with, for crying out loud, Gone with the Wind. It's like, but so do you just take it away and pretend like it never happened? No, that makes no sense. My feeling is adults for themselves can choose whether or not they are going to watch something. And when you are a parent and you have kids, you can choose what you want them to watch and what you don't want them to watch. So what makes no sense is to hide something, especially with the Splash Mountain ride. That was always the weirdest factor.
Which is why they had to close down
which is why they've now changed to Tiana. But it's like, which would have been fine, by the way. If they just wanted to change it to Tiana, that's fine. That's their choice. But it's like they are so ashamed of this thing they don't need to be ashamed of, and have made it into something so much bigger than it would have ever been.
Now it's forbidden fruit.
Yeah, so that's all it is now.
P.S. You can get copies of it.
Yeah, no, it's very findable.
Easily, yeah.
But it's, yeah, so it's just the idea that, you know, this is what you've created, and for what purpose? You know, what purpose? And I'll never understand that. So to me, you've made it forbidden fruit. You've created this whole world around it. There are a lot of people who will say, even people of color who will say, just let it out. Who cares? Whoopi Goldberg's very much on that train.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's dumb is the very short answer. It's dumb. It's silly. They shouldn't. It should just exist, and everybody should be a grown-up about it.
But in fairness, even when it was announced as a project in the early 1940s by Walt, there were people in the Black community and the Black press who were not happy.
Yeah.
And made their feelings known.
Yeah.
So it was touchy.
Yeah. But so that's the tricky thing. Yeah, Floyd Norman as well, of course, Floyd. Yeah. But so yeah, that's it. It's going to be a thing that comes up. It always does. It always comes up because of what it's been made into. So, you know, it's just silly. It is just silly at this point. Especially because you can just see it if you want to. Whatever. What are you going to do? We will see you next week, friends. I don't know how we're getting this far into August. I'm very confused by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you next Sunday. Everybody, please take good care of yourselves. And we'll talk to you soon.
And by all means, be kind.
Mm-hmm.